Everybody is talking about this Bible, and I want to give my review. And as an Australian, I feel like I can give a bit more of a view, what the rest of the world is thinking. My name is Craig, and this is Morning Star Quest, and this is your journey through the Bible. But I want to road test the God Bless the USA Bible that Trump is now promoting. So let's start with getting under the hood. Under the hood of the God Bless the USA Bible. At first, because I'm an Australian, I don't know all the history. I thought this was Donald Trump's actual Bible that he produced. It's not. I was actually quite surprised to find that it was 2021, I think, or around about then, that Lee Greenwood was the one that actually published this Bible. And it may surprise you that as an Australian, I have never heard that song before. I only just heard it yesterday for the very first time, and I get it. Oh, it is a great song. I'm not going to knock it because it is a very patriotic song. And I've got to say, if I was an American and I had listened to that all my life, that would be such a fantastic song, because I don't have this actual Bible. And I'm going to say, because as an Australian, I'm not going to support anybody, so I'm not going to buy this Bible. So Tim Wildsmith, who is a Bible reviewer with his channel, and I'll link his channel and this actual video, because I think he gave a very balanced review, hands-on review with the Bible in his hands, and you can see it for yourself. It is advertised as a leather-bound, very professional, a wonderful Bible, and I'm just talking about the publishing side of things here. Now, this Bible is a patriotic Bible, which, first of all, I didn't even know that even existed. Well, $59.99. It's going to be over $100 for an Australian to buy this Bible. It's got to be good quality. Now, originally, Lee Greenwood was going to get it published through Zondervan Publishing and have it in NIV. And now I find this very interesting because he wanted it in NIV. And even in a recent interview, Lee Greenwood stated that...
Believe me, this is a beautiful book. I have several NIV versions, but this is the King James Version.
I don't know why he needed to say that. I think he just wanted to say that his favourite Bible is the NIV, but this one is in King James. But, when it went through with, when Tim Wildsmith went through understanding this Bible, like publishing side of things, unfortunately it came across as a little bit cheap. Like, it says leather.
And the leather-bound book of this is just absolutely, it's got the onion skin in it, and it'll last a lifetime, so you need to have one of these.
People are saying it's leather and no one's correcting him. On the website, when I went a few days ago or a week ago, I actually saw the word leather. Today, when I go here, suddenly the word leather has gone. It's not, and it's more faux leather. Just say it's faux leather. Just don't have to go into that. But one thing I found very interesting, and this is something that in Australia happens all the time. We have Australian kangaroos that not Australian kangaroos, stuffed toys that are Australian that say made in China. Inside the Bible, and everywhere you can find it, or you can't find it, you can't find where it's from. So if it was an American Bible published in America, you would think of nothing to tell you that's what's happening. So the fact that they're hiding that makes me a little suspicious. Okay, the next thing is suspension. Now, I have reviewed the King James, as I said, and I'll leave a link in the description. And the feel of the King James Version is wonderful. It's colourful, it's rich, and I don't want to take anything away from that. In this edition, there is the Bill of Rights, or the US Bill of Rights, there is Lee Greenwood's lyrics, there's the Declaration of Independence and the US Constitution and the Pledge of Allegiance. The fact that those things are put together with the Word of God, I have a big issue with. And I don't think that's an Australian thing. I think that's a Christian thing. The whole Bible is Jesus's story. You can't get away from that. Everything is about Jesus. And then there's this US, and it might as well, I wonder if you can have an Australian Bible where it has all the similar things. An Australian, we don't have the Constitution, but similar things. I don't like that either. It's the fact that these two things are put together. If they are separate, that would be fantastic. But together, it's not so great. Then we come to navigation. There isn't any navigation because we have the King James Version with no Bible study editions or notes or even links to other passages. You get the King James and that's it. And then there is this patriotism side, which again, like I said before, by itself is fine. But when you put the two together, it's kind of like cream and balsamic vinegar. Those two things are absolutely fantastic, and I want to go to a restaurant that has those things. But I don't want to go to a restaurant that has both of those in the same dish. There is one thing that I find very interesting with this navigation is that with the printing of the King James Version, you will see that it's just crammed in there. There's no space, and it makes it very hard for someone reading it. So why is it done like that? Because it's trying to get everything in as small amount of space as possible, not for the reader, but unfortunately for making it as cheap as possible. But then when it comes to all of the, where are we again? The Bill of Rights, the Lee Greenwood's lyrics, the Declaration of Independence, and all of those things, they are printed with high quality colour, high quality card. The Bible is just shoved in there as quick as possible, least space to make it as cheap as possible. And then these things on the back of it are to be made as expensive and as wonderful as possible. Those things don't go together. Then we come to the focus. Now, in the recent week, like I said before, when I saw this a week or so ago, it was Lee Greenwood at his desk, and now Donald Trump and Lee Greenwood are together. So obviously they've just done this over the last week, and now everything feels like the God Bless the USA Bible is not about the Bible anymore. It's about Donald Trump. You could say, is the focus of the USA Bible, God Bless the USA Bible, Lee Greenwood? Kind of is leaning that way. Is it Donald J. Trump? It is leaning that way. Is it patriotism? It is leaning that way. But the Bible is not about any one of those things. It's about Jesus. It needs to be about Jesus. And like I said before, it needs to be the focus always. And as an Australian, I kind of think, why is it about any country? God says, love God with everything you have, mind, body and soul, and love others as yourself. This Bible is not doing that, or at least the King James Version part of it is, but the other part I'm not so sure about. Now, I find this so interesting is that I'll just play a little bit of this and then I'll stop.
Along with a handwritten chorus to Lee Greenwood's song.
Right here. This is where the King James Version of the Bible, or let's just say God's Word finishes, and it starts then from Lee Greenwood. Now we've got the last words here. Now I'm going to just flick over to here so you can see it a little bit clearer, but it's a bit hard because it's on the video. But it's the last words of the Bible. I testify unto every man that heareth the word of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. I feel like these two things are cream and balsamic vinegar. You can't put these two things together, but separately they are fantastic. I don't want to take away anything. The song is very patriotic. That's fantastic. It should be. That's the whole point. And if I was living in America, I'm, let's just say, in my 50s. I won't go into numbers. But if I had heard that song throughout and I had fought wars, or if I have done things for my country, this is the best song ever. Okay, I want to go into something here that might get me into a lot of trouble.
We saw President Trump talking about it. We are so grateful that he is a man of faith and believes in God, just over and over and over. And so,
but Donald J. Trump is not Christian. I'm sorry, he is not Christian. He says he is, but then the fruits of his labor should show who he is. Let's just put that there. He is not Christian. The King James Version focus is Jesus. The focus of this Bible is not that. It's focusing on patriotism. And again, like I said before, those two things separately are fantastic, like cream and balsamic vinegar. But you put those two things together, I'm not eating at that restaurant. Let's go to ease of use. King James is more year 12 language. It just needs additional care to understand some words. And this is where you need a study Bible with the King James, I feel, which comes to the sound system or the audio system of the King James Version, which is very rich, poetic, and I guess it does lean itself to being in the public space. And I guess if you were reading from this Bible, you wouldn't see the other parts to this. You wouldn't see that. So I don't see that is an issue. It's just when you are reading it, you have this feeling of this patriotism side of things coming in that I wouldn't even want for an Australian Bible or an English Bible or any Bible, because the Bible is for all. It is not just for one group of people, which brings me to safety features. Now, if this was just the KJV, like I said before, I think, I wouldn't have any problems with it. It would be, but unfortunately, it probably would just be the King James Version. It wouldn't be Lee Greenwood's Bible. It's about Jesus. It shouldn't be about anybody else, anything else, any land else, or any nation else. So I hope I haven't put myself into hot water. This is my Australian review. I have done King James over here. Let's just, if you want to have a look at my review, my road test of the King James by itself, take a look here, go do something awesome for God, and I'll catch you in the next one.